All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are not letting up here on the Fantasy Football Counselor podcast. We are releasing content here in the slowest time of the fantasy football season. So if you're here watching, you are dedicated. I'm going to keep delivering for you because that's what we do. We go year round. All right, guys. So I'm excited today. We are talking about 3 quarterbacks I love. A little bit of a quarterback discussion. Going to keep it short and sweet here today to give you guys some insight going into 2023 when it comes to quarterbacks. So excited to dive in. Going to give you guys 3 quarterbacks, early quarterbacks that look good, that I love going into this season. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Pre-order the 16 rounds for the lowest price of the year. I've linked it below. Use code EARLYLION. That'll save you guys 25%. Get in right now, guys. Super excited. And of course, guys, going to be making a hard push this year and putting everything I got in the fantasy frontline community as well for direct access, optimal DFS plays, waiver wire, starts and sits discussions, everything you guys need for year-long community. It's the fantasy front lines. Everything's going to be there. The only place to get direct access, I've linked that below, or go to patreon.com/FFCounselor. All right, guys? So lots going on. I'm excited. I'm watching the NFL playoffs now. You know, it's been good. It's been exciting. Some surprises. You know, we're talking MVP talk right now. Is it going to be Hurts? Is it going to be Mahomes? Maybe you're watching this video in August, and we already know the answer, so I'm not going to dive too much into that. And, yeah, it's been a good year, and this year is going to be better. We're going to be sharper. We're going to be even more focused, more honed in. And, you know, the content keeps getting better. Every year that I put this out, the better and better I get at my predictions. It was a good year, man. You know, a lot of guys hit. You had a couple misses, but overall pretty good. So let's talk about some quarterbacks here. And I'm looking at some early consensus rankings. It seems like there's a lot of copy and paste going on. Typical every single year, nothing's changed. You got your top 3, Mahomes, Allen, Hurts. And I got to tell you, though, the first guy I want to talk about here is actually in the top 3. Okay, I can't deny that I like this guy a lot going into 2023, but you're going to have to pay for him. The guy I'm talking about is Jalen Hurts. Okay, that's my first guy. I got 3 quarterbacks here that I love. And Jalen Hurts, at the end of the day, man, 3rd in fantasy points, right? 378 plus points. I still think there's more ceiling to be had. I still think every year, this year he really got comfortable. Barring any injury in 2023, the sky's the limit for Hurts. He only had a 22 touchdown season, six interceptions, a good ratio, but those touchdowns need to go up. Now, he's number 1 in rushing, all right, amongst quarterbacks, 165 attempts, and a lot of touchdowns, guys, 13 touchdowns. So he's going to get it done on the ground this year, guys, a lot. He's going to continue to get it done on the ground, and that is where you're going to get those points. Now, every quarterback that I've seen in the past, Lamar Jackson, you know, they kind of have that risk of getting hurt, especially if you're running that many times. That, to me, is a bit of a concern. So when I look at a guy like Jalen Hurts and I look at the stats, I see a guy that literally is going to put himself at risk. And that's a problem for me personally, but I love him. I can't deny the fact that I love his poise. I love his, you know, pocket presence. I love his ability to move. He does it with such grace, and he's a strong quarterback. He's not one of those guys, like, again, no offense to Lamar, but he's a skinnier, lankier kind of guy. I just think Hurts is built better. I like those quarterbacks that are built better. Now, a guy like Josh Allen's a perfect example. Built better can get those rushing yards, but it's like you're getting like Lamar Jackson type rushing numbers with a build like Jalen Hurts. Like, I like it better. I just think, you know, knock on wood, that's a big, you know, appeal to me when I'm looking at a fantasy quarterback. You're built tough. You're built strong. You're not so, you know, lanky looking and skinny looking like an RG3 from years ago. If you guys remember, very skinny guy. You know, Hurts is built like a tank, and I like him. So again, you want to pay the price for him, that's fine, but that's a guy on a higher up echelon there, higher tier that I like going into the season. I can't deny it. I love him, actually. So hopefully that maintains next year. Second guy here, young guy, not going to be as expensive as the Jalen Hurts. You get him as value. I'm hoping he falls to the 5th round here, guys, is Trevor Lawrence. And I've talked about him before. This is a guy who's young, dynamic. Calvin Ridley's coming back. He's finally integrated into that offense, and he's comfortable with that offense. Trevor Lawrence, last year, guys, 9th in passing, 4,113 yards. Very impressive. Touchdown interception ratio, good, 25-8. 7th in fantasy points with 295 fantasy points. Let's round up, 296. I mean, the guy looks good. He's only getting better, right? He's going to be a guy that's going to consistently, again, barring any injury, going to be consistently putting up fantasy points for you guys every single week. And that's what I look at when I look at a quarterback. I look at youth, I look at talent, I look at hunger, I look at upside. I still think there's more upside to be had here with Trevor Lawrence, right? Again, Ridley, going to be back. Offense looking good. He's got some weapons with Kirk. Travis Etienne gets better. He's a pass-catching running back. Maybe some more short passes for touchdowns. Can move on his feet if he needs to, but not enough to possibly get himself hurt. If the value is there, he's currently sitting 9th on the Consheeps' rankings, which means, it depends, right? It depends on your league mates. It depends if it's a 2-quarterback league. But if I can get this guy as early as the 4th, I've anchored my team with a relatively solid quarterback. Again, this is my early thoughts, right? We're talking January here, 2023. So things are going to change. I'm going to see what happens in the draft. Are they going to create more O-line protection? What other weapons are they adding? Going to be interesting to see. But Trevor Lawrence is that franchise guy. He's high caliber, taking his team into the playoffs. He's got that upside, okay? And he's got that pedigree. He's a first-round pick, a couple years ago. So Trevor Lawrence, I think he's going to be that sweet spot value for an ace quarterback that you're going to be looking for. Love him this year, right? Now, for the third one, I had a hard time looking at this, but there's going to be a ton of sleepers this year. I don't want to go into it all in this episode. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Russell Wilson could be a sleeper this year. Now, when I look at a sleeper, I don't look at a sleeper as a guy that's going to be my starting quarterback. I always anchor my team with an ace quarterback and get a solidified backup with that top 5, top 10 potential. And the third guy here, older, talking about a move. And again, you could say a move is scary. Let's tell you who it is. Okay, the guy I love is Aaron Rodgers. If he gets traded, by the time it's recording, maybe he's on the Raiders or whatever it is. There's talk about him getting traded. There's talk about him going to the Jets. Wherever he ends up, right? That could be scary. We saw what happened with Russell Wilson. But it's Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, we said that. It's Russell Wilson. They're both good veteran quarterbacks. But the upside and the appeal is there. Now, he finished 13th in fantasy points, 26-12 interception, touchdown interception ratio, 239 fantasy points, 11th in passing yards. Now, again, if there is a team change that could revive and upside his career, but we see it all the time. These guys go to new teams and things collapse. Either way, he would be a backup with that major upside. Okay, him and even I was going to put Brady in here. And, both those guys had good finishes the past year. I think, where did Rodgers finish? Like 13th or something like that. And Brady finished like 12th. These guys are going to be going and, they want to end their careers with a team that's going to give them upside, okay? And I really believe that Rodgers and Brady still have good years. And are they going to be my starting quarterback? Maybe, but I'm going to draft them in my mind as a backup, all right? So again, I want to keep this short and light and just have a quick talk. Mahomes hurts. Allen, you're going to be paying a lot for, but we're going to be finding the value. The key is to find the value at quarterback, okay, that's going to have that top 3 potential that you don't have to pay at first or second round or even a third round to get. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to find those gems and we're going to back them up. And this is what I explained in the 16-round draft. So we're going to make sure you guys anchor your team with an ace quarterback and back them up. Now, in my 16 rounds, I remember the year that Mahomes broke out and became Pat Mahomes. That's the year I had him as a backup quarterback with upside. And there's not a lot of rookies coming in. There's a lot of second-year rookie, players. Kenny Pickett that could take a step up. Desmond Ridder could take a step up with, Drake London. That could be a good combination. So there's a ton of quarterbacks that are going to take a leap this upcoming year. But again, if you want to pay, you're going to have to pay to get like a Pat Mahomes, right? But we're going to try to find that value for you. And so far right now, Trevor Lawrence is kind of that sweet spot quarterback that I love, all right? If this is making sense to you, if I'm talking common sense and you're like, man, this guy is thinking outside the box, this isn't copy and paste, subscribe and get that 16-round draft session. I've linked it below. Use promo code EARLYLION. That code's not going to last forever. It's a limited time code. Get in the 16-round draft session right now. You can pre-order. I left a link below. All right, guys, appreciate you. Subscribe, thumbs up. We'll talk soon. And drop a comment below. Let me know which quarterback you love for 2023. I'm out.